Today we're just interested in the hemlocks, as that's where you'll find the infamous reishi, or in this case, Ganoderma Tsugae hemlock reishi mushroom. One of my favorite medicinal mushrooms to forage for come late spring and early to midsummer. Now this is actually a spot where I commonly find ghost pipe or Indian pipe, which actually isn't even a mushroom, but a parasitic flower that lacks chlorophyll. So make sure you watch till the end because I'm pretty confident with all the recent rains, we'll get on some of those today too. Whew. All right, you guys, you can see it. I found some reishi mushroom. It's actually not the only one I found today. You can see with all the sweat, I've been out here for a minute. I found a bunch, but they're all rotten. It's a little bit later than when I typically look for them, but yeah. Stoked I got on this single one. You'll find them in clusters too. This one's really the first one I've ever found that's just alone on its own. But yeah, it's later in the season, so all the clusters are starting to rot out. All the typical spots that I found fruiting last year, they're still there, but they're just decayed and no new blooms there, so I've just been trying to find some new locations. Oh yeah. So wild reishi typically grows on fallen hemlock trees, like the one behind me here. I believe other varieties do as well. I just can't confirm because I've never foraged for them. It's totally possible to find Ganoderma Tsugae on hardwoods, birch, and even beech trees, like the one right here. So you'll notice I have a lot of those in these woods, but I've actually only ever found them on fallen hemlock trees. So before you even set out, you'll want to locate some forests that you're confident are home to some nice mature hemlocks. I'm in Michigan, which is home to thousands of rivers and streams flowing out of the Great Lakes, which makes it a perfect home for Eastern Hemlocks. Eastern Hemlocks often prefer to grow in moist forests near water. If you're unsure where to begin your search for some, remember that it's an evergreen, which will hold on to its foliage all year round. So it might be wise to do some scouting in the off-season when the other trees have dropped their leaves. This will help you identify them easier. Ganoderma Tsugae reishi mushroom grows primarily in the eastern United States and Canada, but that doesn't mean you won't find other varieties in the reishi genus if you look outside this region. Reishi are an annual mushroom, so they'll grow one season, fruit, shrivel up, and then die the next. Sometimes if I find one that's past the point of harvesting, I'll go as far as to break off a piece and place it on a recently down hemlock to give it a chance to spread for future harvesting. Reishi typically range from 6 inches all the way to a foot in diameter, though I typically find them on average between that 6 and 8 inch range. Like you'll see this one next to my hand, you'll see it's only about 4 to 5 inches across. So this one right here is actually one of the smallest ones I've ever found. Now this example is actually pretty mature and ready to harvest, but when they're just starting out, you'll notice they're more of that creamy white look, and there'll be a single stem emerging from the log, like your typical mushroom. So look for that, and then as they mature, they'll start fanning out with that shelf look and take on that more orange, reddish, kind of leathery, identifiable look you're looking for when you identify reishi mushrooms. And that bright identifiable color you're looking for when you try to identify reishi mushrooms will start at the base of the stem. So look for that. When they're young, they'll be kind of, again, that more creamy look, but that creamy whiteness will be on the exterior of the plants as it matures. Ganoderma Tsugae is a white rot mushroom that helps to break down the lignin and fallen hemlocks. You know the mushroom is completely matured when 3 things happen. 1, the tops turn completely reddish or brown. 2, the whole thing takes on a wrinkly, leathery look. And 3, the underside, creamy white, begins to fade into a more grayish brown tone. In fact, if you push on the underside, you'll notice it takes on this brown bruise. The underside of reishi houses thousands of microscopic pores, being a polypore mushroom, which simply means it doesn't contain gills, like a chanterelle. For this reason, when I'm harvesting wild reishi, I always collect it in a mesh bag like this one here, so the pores can spread as I move through the forest. Now when you go out looking for wild reishi, depending on where you live, you'll more than likely be looking for either Ganoderma Tsugae or Ganoderma lucidum, the reishi mushroom commonly used in traditional Eastern medicine. Both are noted for their powerful medicinal properties, but if you're foraging in North America, you're more than likely going to find Ganoderma Tsugae. But don't let the scientific names intimidate you. Ganoderma simply means bright skin, and Tsugae is actually a genus of conifers in the pine family. The Ganoderma genus of mushrooms is extremely large, with a couple hundred known species across the world. Take for example Ganoderma applanatum, or artist conch as it's often called due to its white underside that you can mark up, which will last for years. While scientific research on Ganoderma Tsugae is ongoing and limited compared to our famous Asian relative, Ganoderma lucidum, there are several reported beneficial properties associated with this magical mushroom. Here's the most notable. Immune support. Ganoderma Tsugae mushrooms are believed to possess immunomodulatory properties, meaning they may help support and regulate the immune system. They're rich in polysaccharides and other bioactive compounds that may enhance immune function. Anti-inflammatory effects. This mushroom is thought to have anti-inflammatory properties that may help reduce inflammation in the body. It contains compounds like triterpenes and antioxidants that could contribute to potential anti-inflammatory effects. Antioxidant activity. Ganoderma Tsugae mushrooms are known to contain a variety of antioxidants, such as phenolic compounds and polysaccharides. These antioxidants may help neutralize harmful free radicals in the body, reducing oxidative stress and supporting overall health. Lastly, anti-cancer potential. Preliminary research suggests that Ganoderma Tsugae mushrooms may possess anti-cancer properties. Some studies have shown their potential to inhibit the growth of cancer cells, induce cell death, and suppress tumor formation in animal and in vitro studies. However, further research is needed to understand their full potential in cancer treatments.
Ghost pipe, where are you? Can you see it? Right there. There's a couple of them. So we'll leave these two. Grab this one.
So now that you know how, when, and why you'd even want to forage reishi mushrooms, you're probably wondering how to consume it and get those medicinal properties. Let's find out. The first thing you'll want to make note of is that reishi and many other medicinal mushrooms contain both water-soluble components, known as polysaccharides, and alcohol-soluble components, known as triterpenes. This is important to know because this means in order to get the full benefits of this mushroom, you'll want to make an alcohol-based tincture. While you can get away with a tea, just know you're leaving some medicinal properties on the table, as I've made plenty of reishi teas before and will be the first to say it's still worth it. All you have to do is cut the mushroom up into fine slices, toss it in some water, put it on the stove for 5 to 10 minutes on low heat, and then let that steep for an additional 15 minutes. If you're interested in making a tincture, be sure to subscribe as I'll be showing you exactly how to do that with the reishi I've harvested today in a future video. Until then, thanks for watching, and if you like this kind of stuff, leave me some feedback in the form of a like or drop a comment down below so I know how to keep making these types of videos. I also have some other social media accounts where I post more short form content, so if you just want quick tips and how-tos, make sure you check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and of course, subscribe and you'll get weekly videos like this on gardening, foraging, and all things growing. Until next time, happy growing.